This is an update I never thought I'd be giving. A quick catch up, I had a miscarriage and within 2 weeks my husband wanted to move in his pregnant colleague. He pushed and pushed and I had no fight left, so I said yes. And then they started acting like a couple, even going to our first scan together. But the straw that broke the camel's back was when I walked in on them redecorating the nursery that I had created for what was supposed to be my baby. My husband then told me to leave, my own house, that I bought before even meeting him. But I was a shell of myself. So I did leave. I went to stay with my mum, and at first she was completely on my side. Furious, actually. And when I told her what they'd done to my baby's nursery, she was horrified. And then a few days later, my husband messaged her, asking if I was okay, telling her he loved me, telling her he missed me, telling her he didn't understand why I reacted the way I had, but he was trying to respect my need for space. And my mum absolutely tore into him. She told him exactly what she thought of him. And that's when things got weird. Because instead of defending himself, he acted completely confused. He kept insisting he had no idea what she was talking about. Eventually, he offered to show her. He told her to come to the house to see everything for herself. But my mum refused. The second she got off the phone, she said he was bluffing. He was trying to buy time to get an idea of when she wanted to go round. Enough time to put everything back the way it was before anybody could see it. So we made a plan. The next time both of them were out, we'd go ourselves. We'd take photographs, document everything, catch them red-handed. Only that's not what happened. I watched them both leave on the Ring doorbell, and the moment I walked into the nursery, my stomach dropped. Because everything was back. Everything was how I had left it. The hot air balloons I'd watched him tear down were hanging from the ceiling again. The furniture was untouched. There wasn't a single baby item belonging to her anywhere in that room. Nothing. It looked exactly like it had before. And I remember my mum slowly turning towards me, and for the first time since all of this started, I saw doubt in her eyes. And that absolutely terrified me. Because if my own mother didn't believe me, what if she was right? What if none of this had happened? What if grief had broken something inside of me? And I wish I was exaggerating when I say that thought nearly destroyed me. Over the next few days, I became obsessed. Watching the Ring doorbell footage, watching them come and go, trying to prove to myself that I wasn't losing my mind. And then my husband invited my mum over again to talk about me. And this time she went. When she came back, she wasn't angry anymore. She looked concerned. The first thing she asked me was whether I'd thought about speaking to somebody professionally, and my heart sank. Because I knew exactly what that meant. He'd convinced her. Apparently, he'd shown her videos. Videos of my outburst. Videos of me crying, videos of me spiraling, videos of me sitting on the bathroom floor saying over and over, I'm a bad person, I'm a bad person, I'm a bad person. And I remembered that moment. I remembered feeling jealous every time she'd call my husband over when the baby kicked. I remembered feeling guilty for resenting her. I remembered sitting on that bathroom floor convincing myself that I was horrible. What I didn't know is that my husband had planted cameras all over the house filming my most vulnerable moments. And at that point, I didn't know what was real anymore. All I knew was that I needed answers. So that night, I let myself back into my own house. It was 2 a.m. because I'd lost the confidence to walk into my own house in broad daylight with the two of them there. What I found made me realise I wasn't crazy after all. I wasn't imagining things. I wasn't paranoid or unstable. I was being played. Because upstairs in my bed, I found them sleeping together. And I wanted to scream. I wanted to drag them both out of that bed, but I didn't. Because for the first time, I realised I needed proof more than I needed revenge. So I took my husband's phone. I went back to my car and I started reading. And within 10 minutes, my entire world exploded. Her pregnancy wasn't real. There was no baby. There had never been a baby. The bump was fake. The scans were fake. The abandoned husband was fake. Every single thing had been a lie. But somehow that wasn't even the worst part. Because they'd been having an affair for over a year. And after my miscarriage, they saw an opportunity. One message from my husband literally said, maybe this is the universe clearing the way for us. Another message called my baby financial baggage he no longer needed to worry about. I don't think I've ever felt rage like that in my life. And then I kept scrolling, and that's when I found the messages about me, about how easy it had been, about how quickly I'd fallen apart, about how my mum was starting to believe them, about how her pregnancy really made me lose the plot, about how they were building a case that I wasn't mentally well. And finally, the messages about my house. My house. The house I bought before I ever even met him. Message after message discussing ways to convince me to hand over control, ways to pressure me into signing things over to him, ways to convince everybody around me that it was for my own good, to get my family on side, get them to convince me to hand over the rights to him by telling them that I'm not in my right mind. I won't sell the house, but if it's in his name, he can sell it and have the money to get me the help I need. Private help for his wife who he loves so fucking much. I sat in that car until nearly sunrise, taking photos of everything, every message, every picture, every plan. And then I put the phone back exactly where I found it. I went back to my mum's house and I didn't tell a single person what I knew, not even my mum. Because for the first time since losing my baby, I finally had the upper hand and I knew exactly what I was going to do.